Shrewdness is not often a quality we associate with the Bible or with godly people, and yet if you stop and think about it, the Bible is filled with shrewd people, at least in the dictionary definition of that word, which goes like this: shrewdness is the quality of having or showing good powers of judgment. The quality of having or showing good powers of judgment. There are all kinds of people in the Bible who use their powers of judgment very shrewdly to move in the world, who work the systems and the rules that they are living under and somehow use them to their advantage to get the desired outcome that they want. Nothing wrong with that. There's a great example of this in Ruth 4, where Boaz, who's kind of the hero of the story, acts very shrewdly, kind of surprisingly, to get what he wants. What's happened so far, if you've been following along, is Ruth, this foreigner, this widow who's come back to Bethlehem with her mother-in-law Naomi, has basically broken all the taboos and traditions by proposing to Boaz. Tables are turned, right? Boaz likes Ruth. He wants to marry her, but the problem we're drawn into as the audience is there's someone who's in line ahead of Boaz. There's a near kinsman redeemer who's first in line, who actually has the right of redemption. And the way this worked in Israel is when a man died, instead of his land just being sold at auction, it was purchased by a kinsman redeemer, someone who was close to the family, who cared about the family and wanted to see the family's name and tradition and legacy live on. So this near kinsman had the first legal right of purchase. So Boaz calls all the elders of the town together. They have this big meeting, and Boaz introduces this as basically a real estate transaction. Okay, the land that once belonged to Elimelech, Naomi's husband, as well as her two sons, Mahlon and Chilion, it's up for sale. Do you want to purchase it? And like any good businessman, he says, of course I want to purchase it. He sees it as a real estate transaction. He can expand his holdings, acquire more land, become richer. The wrinkle that Boaz introduces, the shrewd move he makes, is he tells this man, okay, now when you acquire the land, you also will acquire Ruth, the widow, as your property as well. And it'll be your job to provide for her and care for her. And at this, the near kinsman balks. He was not expecting to have to take care of Ruth as well. It looks like Boaz kind of maybe bent the rules a little bit or introduced a surprise element in this transaction that this man was not expecting. He didn't break the law. You can bet if he broke the law or did something totally unethical, the witnesses would have called him out on it and said, Boaz, you can't do that. That's illegal. They don't do that, but it's apparent this was an unexpected, shrewd move. And in so doing, Boaz ends up getting what he wants. He gets Ruth, even though he was second in line and not first. He acted shrewdly. So may you and I this week, as we see moments when God opens doors for us, that we may walk through those doors, that we may seize those moments by acting shrewdly, not breaking the rules, not doing anything illegal, but moving shrewdly and using good judgment in the world that we live in.